Chariots of War, a teleplay by Adam Armus and Nora K. Foster, was a story also written by the duo of Josh Becker and Jack Perez and directed by Harley Coklas, premiering on September 11th, 1995. My second birthday, wow! I know I saw this on the Legendary Journey somewhere. Xena and Gabrielle are chatting in a pub. Actually, Gabrielle is the one doing most of the talking, recalling a story about Zeus turning two lovers into oak trees, allowing their branches to intertwine for the rest of their existence. Gabrielle is really into romance, isn't she? Xena is having none of this crap, but Gabrielle still thinks a softer warrior princess from time to time would be good for the soul. Xena then heads off to find a van down by the river, but not before telling Gabrielle that she won't forget about her while she's gone. These transitional moments all throughout Season 1 give me such a sense of nostalgia for the 90s. Up ahead, a father named Darius has an entire family playing carpenter. Well, except for the mother. Where is she anyway? Suddenly, his little girl, Sarita, notices some warlords in the distance. The lieutenant urges his army to attack, leading to a giant melee. Have no fear, the warrior princess is here! As she destroys the goons, one of them pulls apart the structure the family was building, and it's crumbling down on this poor kid! Xena barely pulls him to safety, but as she hands him off to his father, these guys launch arrows straight at the warrior princess. Much like Draco in the last episode, she catches all but one. Xena is down! The opening intro, narrated by the late great Don LaFontaine. Rest in peace, Mr. LaFontaine, and thank you for your wonderful contribution to the Xena series. The warrior princess is in a world of hurt, but it's okay, she's been through this arrow stuff before. Xena guides Darius through the healing process, and it isn't pretty. Excellent acting by Lucy Lawless here. Meanwhile, at Baddie HQ, one of the lieutenants from earlier, Spherus, wins a staff duel with relative ease. His father, and true warlord of the group, Cycnus, is impressed with his son's improved skills, but something is still missing: the desire to kill. Cycnus demands his son to show some backbone in battle, that killer instinct that would make Ares proud. Will young Spherus prove himself worthy? Back at the family home, the two boys argue about who will get Xena's horse. The answer is neither, because she's still alive, lads. Meanwhile, Gabrielle is confident her friend will reunite with her in this pub, but she's kinda worried too. Story time with Xena! This part is truly wonderful. The children wish they can travel with her, but she shuts that down with some harsh realities about the kind of life she leads as the warrior princess. Elsewhere in the house, a man named Tinus is weary of Xena's bad reputation, sort of like Herodotus was in the last episode. Unless Darius wants to break his oath for peace, he will get her to leave the town as soon as possible. Darius assures Tinus that she will be asked to leave once she is recovered from her injuries. Well, that was fast. Darius pleads with Xena to rest up some more, but she's gotta meet up with a friend who depends on her. However, when she can't pick up her horse saddle without excruciating pain, a group of bozos set the bloody family silo outside on fire. The next morning, this young, innocent girl is hit on by yet another warlord. You better back off, sir, or else her bloodthirsty boyfriend will wreck your ass. Oh, he doesn't believe they're together. Do you believe it now? Meanwhile, Xena is really set on leaving now, but Darius still wants her to stick around. A peace offering in town is occurring later that day, but the warrior princess says you can't make peace with war makers. As she says that exact sentence, Lawless's Kiwi accent comes out and I love it. "Please stay for the sake of peace," begs Darius. Back in the pub, Gabrielle and Spherus hit it off quite well, especially on the subject of fulfilling the roles expected of them by their parents. When Gabrielle asks if he's seen a 6-foot-tall woman with dark hair and lots of leather who fights like the harpies in a bad mood, he decides to bounce. Xena acquiesces to Darius's request, but she can't show up to the peace offering wearing her warrior outfit. "Please put on this dress that belonged to my late wife," he says. Even as I only turned 2, I received a wonderful birthday gift from the executive producer in 1995. This beautiful woman in a blue dress, my favorite color. Thank you, Mr. Tappert. Meanwhile, Cygnus asks his son to conduct the peace offering, but only so he can trick the villagers into being slaughtered. "Kill them all, make me proud, and make Ares proud," growls Cygnus. It's time for the meeting, and Xena is ready. "She is Birdie, SpongeBob," and little Sarita agrees. At the meeting, as Spherus is clearly hesitating to unleash an attack, Xena promises to stay off to the side, "So you can shut up, Tinus." However, because she's off to the side, she sees this attack coming from a mile away. "To the window! To the wall!" Xena loosens up her dress a bit before kicking baddie ass with pots and pans. This dude is kicked through the door and it is awesome. "Everybody out now!" yells Xena, and Spherus actually lets them all go in peace. Back in his home, Darius is pissed, but Xena is more concerned with standing up to these war makers. He says he'd love to pick up a sword again and fight, but he'd rather not partake in the horrors of war again, especially with a family to provide for now. He has to do what he has to do, and so does she. Back in Cygnus HQ, the warlord is beyond pissed that there was no bloodshed in the village. Spherus takes full responsibility, saying that he simply couldn't bring himself to kill helpless people. "You disgrace the memory of your brother," huffs Cygnus. Ouch. Now able to lift the saddle, Xena is ready for battle. "Sorry kids, you aren't stopping her now." That bastard Tinus then rats Xena out to Cygnus, thinking that their lives will be spared as a result. But no, everybody shall die by his hand. When Spherus asks why his father is so hungry to kill Xena, the truth is revealed. His brother, Stentor, was killed in battle by the warrior princess when his back was turned. Spherus now has that killer instinct. Aw, the two friends have finally reunited. Gabrielle says she was worried sick about Xena, and the warrior princess actually apologizes. "No, Xena, your friend is not waiting in a farmhouse during this battle. Gabrielle wants a piece of the action." Cygnus and Spherus are hot on the trail, and Xena can sense them. No, Gabrielle, she couldn't care less about your latest crush on that random dude. Xena needs a distraction, so she places Gabrielle on the horse and sends it off. That is so brilliant. As the excellent Joseph LaDuca battle music rages on in the background, Xena hides in the trees until the right moment to commandeer a chariot arrives. Xena takes a shortcut to Gabrielle and asks her repeatedly to jump. "If I die, I will never talk to you again," says our bard, and it cracks me up every time. Now on the same chariot, Xena and Gabrielle find themselves right next to Cycnus and Spherus. One issue: Xena doesn't have her frickin' chakram! Since both chariots are so close to each other, the warrior princess cuts off the horses from the other chariot, causing Cycnus and Spherus to need some stuntmen. This big grin from Xena following that moment is so damn funny. Unfortunately, a big tree trunk causes our heroines to need stunties themselves. "Gabrielle, your taste in men sucks," says Xena. But enough about that for now. This battle is personal. "You killed my son, Stentor," yells Cycnus. "No, he came to me in peace. His own men killed him," replies Xena. Cycnus is having none of this crap and dukes it out. "This is your moment of choice," says Gabrielle to Spherus, and he does indeed make a choice. He stops his father from killing Xena, urging for peace once and for all. As father and son battle it out, Darius arrives on another horse with Xena's chakram. It's a good thing too, for Cycnus was about to kill Spherus. She jumps back in the fray and finishes off the warlord. "No more tricks," says Spherus. "We will have peace." Back in the village, the way of peace has prevailed. Gabrielle and Spherus share one last moment together in which the young man thanks her for everything. Darius and each of his children want Xena to stay, but she must continue her adventure. Darius says he hopes Xena finds her happiness, but dude, she already has. Haha, you know it. The episode ends on a wonderful note. Gabrielle says she does miss her family back in Podadia, but not as much as when she's with Xena. I love this episode. Excellent fight scenes, entertaining comedic dialogue with Gabrielle and the many people she comes across while waiting for Xena. Spherus trying to deal with his father's demands while longing for a different lifestyle, something I know tons of people can relate to. And this cheeky grin from the warrior princess. This will never be not funny. Chariots of War is an episode I'm glad to revisit every single year on my birthday. And I think I'm going to do that again right now! See you all back here in 1 week for the next episode from Season 1. The phenomenal Dreamworker!